Good morning. I'm Commandant Thad Allen of the United States Coast Guard. I'm on this task force in two capacities. I represent Secretary Janet Napolitano from the Department of Homeland Security and, of course, the Coast Guard. Madam Chair, I thank you for your leadership in convening the meeting here today. I congratulate Dr. Levchenko on her immediate activities as the NOAA administrator and moving the agenda forward, and I congratulate the North Pacific Fisheries Management Council on their very insightful actions, and Secretary Locke as well. When we look at Coast Guard activities in and around the Arctic, we applied three general themes that categorize our mission areas. One is security, safety, and stewardship. These are all at play in the Arctic. Our biggest challenges we have right now are moving to where there is diminished ice off the North Slope and a requirement for Coast Guard services and mission execution up there where we have not operated before. So key to us are the notions of forward operating locations and interaction with the indigenous peoples and how we perform the services the country expects us to do in that context. Moving us into the broader whole of government context that's provided by this task force is a unique opportunity for the Coast Guard and the Department of Homeland Security. And I would add to the comments that have been made earlier, what you see in front of you here today is a whole of government approach. Everybody that has an equity or a mission responsibility or a statutory responsibility is represented in this task force. I think we have an extraordinary opportunity to get the overall policy and organizational structure right and moving forward. And under the leadership of the Obama administration, we have the chance to do something that has never been done before. And in creating a whole of government approach, I would just add, we all need to think about whole of government as not only horizontally integrating what the federal government does, but making that integration down to the state and local level as well, where we all have a part to play. And I think teamwork and partnerships are going to be key moving forward. So for those reasons, it's my extraordinary honor to be a part of this policy task force. It's been our great pleasure to move around the state these last few days and see the very great natural resources and the cultural resources and the human resources that exist in this state that you all should be justifiably proud. And for that reason, we're looking forward to the hearing today, and I thank you for having us here today, but more importantly, I thank you for the very gorgeous weather. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is David Hayes. I'm the Deputy Secretary of the Interior, and it's delightful to be here today as well. Thanks to Chair Sutley for making the appropriate decision to have the first public meeting of the Oceans Task Force here in Anchorage, and with most of the members of our task force touring the state for the entire week. This state, as much as any and perhaps more than any, depends on the oceans for its livelihood. We're seeing that firsthand. We're looking forward to this afternoon hearing more in that regard. I'll mention with regard to the Department of the Interior, we have a strong stake in this and are looking forward to working with our fellow agencies in the federal government for the first time, really, to try to get an integrated strategy across the entire government for dealing with what has been a bit of an orphan, which is our oceans, despite the importance of the resource. At the department, of course, we have several responsibilities in this regard. We have our lands and assets that are affected by oceans, most prominently here in Alaska with Glacier Bay National Park, with Kenai Fjords National Park, with other parks and refuges that have coastline here in Alaska. In fact, nationwide, the Department of the Interior manages 35,000 miles of coastline, of ocean coastline throughout the United States, much of it here in Alaska. Secondly, of course, we have subsistence responsibilities to Native Alaskans in helping to manage that important right, and we talked with many Native Alaskans through the week this past several days. And obviously, ocean access and salmon fisheries, etc., are extraordinarily important from a subsistence perspective. And finally, of course, through the Minerals Management Service, we have responsibilities offshore, in particular here in Alaska on the oil and gas front. And it's critically important that we manage the oil and gas production in a way that is sustainable and consistent with the values that we prize in terms of our oceans. We're confident we can do that, and certainly with the team that's been arrayed here and with the kind of input we expect to have today, we look forward to continuing to do that mission in a way that is sustainable and helps deal with the needs of our country. Thank you very much.